This is my story.
Say it one more time. What we have in Jesus.
I've known teens since 1947. We were teenagers growing up in Sharon Baptist Church, and we have been sister friends for all of those years.
Footsteps of an original diva.
Almost there, sis.
Queen Esther doesn't move as freely as she once did, but it doesn't matter. She has Jesus, family, and plenty of lifelong friends.
I have known her, well, I won't tell you how many years I've known her because I'll let our ages out.
So happy and delighted to be here to help celebrate Queen's annual 4th of July celebration.
Some will cause you to weep. Some will cause you to moan. Some will gain your confidence and cause you to lose your home. But you bear this in mind, that a true friend is hard to find. And please don't take everybody to be your friend.
My name is Queen Esther King Thornton Bowman.
It's not a title or position, it's her name, one that she wears proudly.
My parents said I was a royal one. When I was born, it was a glow on my head, a light. And then they say, now this is the royal one, this is the queen. So then they gave me Queen Esther, because my parents always give us biblical names. So and then I already was the king, Queen Esther King.
The world we live in is fast-paced and at times dark and very unforgiving. What makes it bearable are beacons of light. Not the light that comes from a lamp, but light that comes from the soul. Queen Esther generates the kind of light that only a few of us are blessed to have. It comes from an unshakable faith in Jesus, the church, and family.
My parents taught me about Jesus.
Those seeds were planted by her father, Belton King, and her mother, Evelyn Dixon, the day she was born, February 9th, 1933, in Middlesex County, Virginia.
My Lord. Oh, yes. Hallelujah. Sure enough, he's worthy.
Belton King's influence and strong beliefs were felt not only by Queen Esther, but by all of his children and even his grandchildren.
My grandfather was a very powerful, strong, stubborn man.
My dad was very, very smart and kept our feet on the ground, talked to us every night. You'd get sick of it, but you would listen because it was interesting.
My uncle Philip King was the first pastor of Sharon Baptist Church, and my grandfather, Belton King, was the first chairman of the trustee board and chairman of the deacon board. I learned later that my grandfather could not read or write, but you would not have known it because he practically had memorized the Bible. He is basically responsible for all of us having a strong religious upbringing.
That's why I believe in Jesus. He's a miracle worker, and he's worthy to be praised.
Shout, sister, shout. Shout, sister, shout. Shout, sister, shout. Tell the whole world what it's all about.
Queen Esther was a teenager when she met her first husband, James Thornton, the father of 4 of her 7 children. The marriage didn't work out. They divorced, and Queen Esther was left with 4 children to feed. The Lord looked after her. She met a man who not only loved her, but also loved her 4 children. His name was Richard Bowman.
That's a reason for living, a reason for dying, a darn good reason why a woman starts crying, a reason for a mole, a reason for a dimple, but there ain't no
shout.
Yeah!
Shout, sister, shout.
I'm telling you.
Shout, sister, shout.
Yeah!
Tell the whole world what it's all about.
That's the way to
It's funny. I was living underneath the Bowman on the first floor, and Bowman was upstairs on the second floor. And so, like, after my first marriage, I wasn't into, I thought all men were bad, until my father told me all men were not bad.
Her father was right. Richard Bowman was one of the good guys. Her oldest son, James Thornton, saw and felt the goodness in the man who Queen Esther would later marry. Thor, looking back with adult eyes at his childhood, has enormous respect and love for a man who would marry a woman with 4 children.
If you look at it legally, he was my stepfather, but I always remember he used to tell me, you know, when my mother married him, he said, look, you're my son. When I take you to the store, they're not going to give me a discount because you're a stepchild, so I don't want to ever hear that word in this house. And he never allowed the word stepchild to be used in this house. He said, because I don't get a discount for you all. I got to pay the full price, so you're my children. And when I say my father, that's who I refer to. When she was picking a man, she picked the person that was going to take her and her 4 children in. So he took all 4, you know, Evelyn, Pat, Darnell, and I in, and then Ricky, Vicky, Virgil, and Kevin came after.
A few years into Queen Esther's marriage to Bowman, her sister died from sickle cell anemia. She left behind a daughter who Queen Esther and Bowman adopted.
Hi, Mom. You know who this is. I'm still here, and I hope you have a blessed day.
With that many children in one house, there were plenty of chores.
Well, it was busy. It was a lot of us in a small house. You know, so that presents its own kind of chaos. We all knew that we had certain chores, and we had to do them. And if you didn't do those chores, you were on punishment.
Discipline was usually enforced by Bowman and at times by Queen Esther.
And I remember one day she didn't feel like giving us a beating, so she waited till my father came home. He took us in the basement, and he was like kind of like lenient. He said, listen, I want to beat the chair. As I beat on the chair, make like I'm giving you a beating, so that Mom think I'm giving you a beating. So he'd actually beat the chair, and we'd have to go, ah, ah.
Now for the next 30 minutes, as the world turns. Brought to you today by Best Foods, makers of delicious new Mazola margarine.
When you grew up, you knew certain things you do and certain things you don't. Don't ever, any one of those kids knew, don't ever get sick or do anything between 1:30 and 2. But that was her favorite show, was As the World's Turn. Never missed an episode.
Something else Queen Esther never missed was celebrating all of the holidays.
She actually literally decorated every holiday. You could tell Queen Esther Bowman's house, and she broke her leg getting on the roof decorating for kids.
Crystal was wonderful. Well, nothing but a joyous time. We all got along and everything.
With 8 children in the Bowman household, Thanksgiving and Christmas were filled with food and lots of presents.
Thanksgiving was a feast. Wonderful, wonderful.
She actually would cook, and she literally had 100 pies.
She'd make at least 100 sweet potato pies. She'd hand them out to neighbors and friends, and we'd eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But a lot of cooking. My mother started cooking at least a week before the holiday, and a lot of food. Enough food to feed the neighborhood, and often we did. Lots of people, lots of fun, crowded, lots of noise, lots of surprises. My mother was someone who didn't like to let you know what your Christmas was all at one time. So she would hide gifts. And you'd get one gift one day and maybe another one another day, or 1 hour you'd get one gift and a few hours later you'd get another gift.
One of the best gifts Queen Esther ever received was the gift of knowledge from her son Darnell when he was a child.
He's gone but not forgotten. It was during Christmas time. And I was writing Christmas cards. Said, why do you write XMAS off? You cutting off the most important name. I said, well, what you talking about? He said, don't write XMAS, write CHRIST, Christ first. So I was grateful that he taught me that.
Darnell passed away in 2002. Queen Esther has had many highs and lows during her life, but through it all she's maintained her dignity and pride. She's also continued to be present and active in the lives of her children and grandchildren. She's always told her sons to be men and her daughters to be women.
She was very formal about us wearing hats to church and being appropriate when we went to church. And I remember her telling me that if I wanted to honor God in his house, I would cover my head. It was something that my mother instilled in me. And now, as an adult, when I see things like books of black women with their fancy hats on, or see the history of women in hats, I remember how my mother instilled that in me, and how it was very important to her that we adorned our heads.
Christ first in your life. Give God some time. He's worthy to be praised. And then obey your parents and get your education.
And now it's coming in. I'm about to reach final curtain. All of my friends, let me make it real clear. Staking my claim, of which I'm trying to be certain. I've lived, I've loved of lost, and I've traveled, the Lord only knows how many, 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 many highways. Oh, so much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but about regrets, I just won't mention. I did exactly what I thought I should do. Stood right there and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway. More, so much more than this, I did my way. What is a man? What has he got? If not himself,
blessed to have you.
Grandmama, I love you.
I love you, Mom. That's my heart. So she's the reason that I'm here.
I love her, and I don't know where I would be without her today.
Auntie is a great aunt. She's always been very lovely to me.
But Auntie is my aunt, love her to death.
She's the best sister in the whole wide world.
I love you.
She has been a mentor and an inspiration.
Esther Bowman is the nucleus of it all.
I wasn't perfect, but I so tried to be better, best that I could.